Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your flagship Sunday show. I'm, of course, your host, Martin the Governor Lambert, and we are here to unpack what was, well, a roller coaster of a ride, let's be honest. 5-3 home defeat to Bolton. Lots of this, sorry. Have I made goals up? I've made a goal, didn't I? It's 5-2, isn't it? Yeah, I've made it sound better in my head than it really was. This is how I've got through the last 24 hours without crying. Now you're taking it away. You may see tears live on the show. I must have dreamed a goal yesterday. I do apologise, my friends. It sums it up the last 24 hours, really. We've got Adam in the room who wants to talk about the F1 instead of the football because that was been much better. Nick Muller, Bald and Blue, Jem in the room, Paragin in the room, John, Andy, because I can't say that name. Hopefully you've all recovered from the disaster of yesterday. John Thorpe, Cook needs results and fast. I was happy to give him until Christmas at least, but not now for me. He gets 4 more games to improve results. Lee Brown was in the room welcoming Jonathan, who himself saw obviously he's our posh fan. He himself saw some goals yesterday. The Blades that were blunt recently suddenly put 6 goals past you. I hope you're not doing too bad today. Callie's in the room. Look, it's a busy show, so let's get cracking. I'm going to bring the cruncher in. I'm going to play an advert first of all. You may recognise this face. Welcome to Private Space Therapy, the business of our very own milk tray man, Ben Adams, who's a certified therapist and counsellor registered with the BACP. With Private Space Therapy, Ben is ready to walk alongside you in empathy, trust, and with total and absolute confidentiality. Ben is someone who will truly listen and be dedicated in your time together. Now, if you break a leg, you go to a doctor. Strain your back, you go to a chiropractor. But what if it's an issue going on regarding your mental health? Who do you go and see? Talking Town, we wanted to address this and have thus partnered with Private Space Therapy. Ben's offering appointments face-to-face in Colchester on the beautiful university grounds, or by video, telephone, or even home visit. And of course, because we're a family at Talking Town, there's a discount for all Talking Town listeners. So if you do feel like you need someone professional to listen, to understand, and to discuss what's going on with you, give Private Space Therapy a call. Private Space Therapy, non-judgmental, unconditional support with you at the centre always. Call 01206 259 311. I certainly need it after yesterday's performance. So, Ben, I'll be giving you a call. Crunch, welcome in.
So I'd just like to touch, I did hear this on Thursday, mine. We've spoken about it. And it's on the Sligo Rovers Twitter feed. Says, we would like to extend our deepest sympathies to former manager Paul Cook and his family on the death of his father, Chris Cook. Our thoughts are with Paul and his family at this difficult time. Now, it's not been released on the Ipswich Town website. We didn't know whether to talk about it, but I just thought I'll just put a message in our private chat. I think we need to realise, you know, Paul's lost his dad. We've had a bad defeat yesterday. We're going to talk about it, but let's just be a little bit maybe sympathetic.
Yeah,
it's a hard. It's a hard one. Look, you've lost your dad, Martin, so you know what it's like. So it's not easy, but I just thought I'd touch on it.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right too. As you say, it's been announced by that football team. Sorry, the name escapes me at that moment in time. But
Sligo Rovers.
That's the one. But yes, our thoughts and our prayers and certainly our sympathies are with Mr. Cook and his family. Back to yesterday, I guess. I want to sort of start with the good stuff. I suppose how the community this show's built up again was in full force yesterday. We were doing the post game show and just seeing how many people were around us. That was exciting for me.
Well, it shows. Not only do a lot of people care about this football club, Martin, but they care about this show and they're getting involved. They want to get involved and they want to have their say. And look, it's not great at the moment. We all agree with that. But it's every game we're doing, more people are coming over. I just want to give a shout out to my mate Budge, who I've known for a long time. And he gave a donation yesterday to Martin. He doesn't really want a big fanfare because he's that type of person. But I just thought I'd like to say thanks very much. Really appreciate it. But I know Martin really appreciated it. So
I certainly do. Yes, and the one condition he attached to it was no fanfare. And I said that's the one condition he attached.
I know what he's like.
But yeah, it's really.
We had a great meal last night, didn't we? We just went out. We went out after the game, didn't we? Spent it.
No, I did not. But hey, we got a football team to discuss as we did yesterday on the post game, the pre game. It's lots and lots, and I got more angrier as the time has sort of gone on. Normally, I go down that way, but I woke up this morning
so angry. You've given us a third goal.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking 5-3. I don't know why I'm thinking 5-3, but I am. But John's Ipswich didn't want to talk yesterday. Susie jumped on the wagon, not there yet. You guys do a fantastic job. Thank you, John. Andrew, good players don't always make a good team. So disappointed by yesterday, but we're Ipswich, we're used to it. Adam Flat would have popped over and said hello, but I left after 70 minutes. Oh, you fair fan, Flatty. That's disgraceful. I left at 80. I at least waited 10 minutes. I was always set up by the time you lot came over to me after the post game show.
I'm surprised because normally it's about 5:10. I come strolling out of the ground and then we're ready to roll.
I was gone. I mean, my dear old mum who never leaves a game early. I had to literally drag her out with me because she was like, "No, I'm staying. We might win. 6-5." And I'm thinking, yeah.
You could have left Martin after 55 minutes. The game was finished then, wasn't it? Really,
it sadly was. Yeah, it sadly was.
And I don't like the way I'm going to touch it. I spoke to the fisherman at 7 o'clock this morning. I've spoken to Colin. I've had a few messages from Hox. Hox was at Plymouth yesterday. He went in the Sheffield Wednesday end, and he said they were absolutely dire. But they're down in the dumps because we've come with the big fanfare, and it's just
I'm not down.
A little bit flat so far, isn't it? Well, not a little bit, a lot.
Well, two of the things that might fall a little bit. Today is the last day, I believe, to vote in the FCA awards. So if you haven't yet done so, please head over to the link in the chat, or if you're watching this back on the Sunday, pinned in the chat will be this link. Go there, vote for Talking Town to be best EFL podcast. We are up against Darren McAnthony, the Blades Way, which got 13,000 subscribers. We're up against some big hitters in this category. So if you do like what we do and you do get value from us, please do go and vote for us. And also, a like target, please, Mr. Cruncher. The shows traditionally, Touchwood, normally get over 1,000. So over 1,000 people will watch it.
That full-time show yesterday, Martin's on over 2,600 already.
Second one in a row. That's done that, yeah.
How many have you got watching live at the minute?
106 people. So if you do get value from us, how many likes should we get, Crunch?
Every one of them 106 people surely have got to hit that like button. It takes a second. Look, while I'm talking, you could have all done it.
Absolutely.
Although everybody won't hit the button. We know that. I'll go 85.
85?
85.
That's quite a low little number, that. I'm surprised you've gone that low. Okay, fair enough. I'd have gone for at least 150. At least 150.
85, the number of points we'll end on at the end of the season.
All right. But they tell me that helps with the algorithm. I don't know about that. But if you do get value from us, certainly do hit the like button. Right. I'm going to bring in our contributor from overseas. And we're going to do it a little bit differently today because it's not often I get as angry as I have done that I can't do this. So I will be like Rich, like Matt, like everybody else.
Let off the leash.
I am going to be letting our award-winning journalist take the lead on this one. There will be a live link still. So from time to time, Kate will ask the question, is there anybody to come in? And if there is, I will bring you in. And if there isn't, we will carry on chewing the fat. But without further ado, it is our award-winning, sensational Kate Riley. Kate, hello.
Hello. I'm still in a mood.
Yes, likewise. I woke up and the first thing I did was text you and say, Kate, you're leading this today.
And I hadn't even seen the result then. And I was like, uh-oh, what's happened? I woke up in a good mood. We all in this house, we all had a good night's sleep. That's like massive for us. And then I read your text and I'm like, oh no, what's coming now? So anyway, that's kind of set the tone. I feel kind of conflicted because I'm human and I'm very empathetic. So now I know the news of what's gone on in the Cook family.
Yeah.
Like I feel now really conflicted about how angry I am about the results. So anyway, I guess I'm glad you're doing the talking today. So let's start with positives. Did you see anything positive yesterday?
Well, before I do that, can I just bring in somebody who's just popped into the chat because I think he's coming live from the Gold Star, which is where Felix, the women are playing today in Felixstowe. Ben, hello.
Benji.
Hello.
Where are you, Ben?
The women's game of Felixstowe before it kicks off.
That's it. Describe the atmosphere to us, Ben.
Pardon?
Describe the atmosphere to us.
Well, it hasn't started yet, so it's pretty quiet.
Are you looking forward to goals and clean sheets?
I'm just looking forward to the women's game after the men's game yesterday.
Yeah. The women are pretty good, so you'll be all right, wouldn't you? Well,
I left on the 47th minute. That was when I left.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Charlize Moore.
Wow, Ben.
I was proper in a mood.
I bet you were.
Well done.
Wow, 47 minutes. That's Matt. Oh, hello. Where's he gone? 47 minutes.
Who leaves after 47 minutes? Come on, have a word with yourself, Ben.
I know. Positives then. Sorry, Kate. Back to your question.
All right, yeah. Did you see anything positive yesterday? Obviously, you must have been pleased to see Bones' goal.
Yeah.
Where's for the assist?
Positives. First F word, Martin. I was already 30 minutes into the show. Well done.
You're on the naughty step.
I am always on the naughty step. Positives was the people watching and giving us lots of confidence around the shows. Not the football. The football was trash. But you know, the pre-game show I was pretty nervous, and the guys and girls watching knew that. But a lot of their sort of well wishes got me through. So that's my positive. The community this show's built up because the football, well, it's just a fucking distraction in a bad way.
What is it? We can't link up play. Our defending's terrible. No firepower.
All of it. We are such a mishmash of different styles of play. When we press, we don't press as a team. When we drop off, we don't drop off as a team. We do nothing as a team. So sometimes in the first half there and in the second, you've got Bond pressing and then Aluko pressing. And two passes and they beat the press because nobody else is pressing from the team. So it's a two-man press, which is incredibly easy to beat. Likewise, when they start to sit deep, the whole team doesn't sit deep. So the gaps between the lines, we're probably going to get into Harper and Evans at some point today, but the gap between Burgess and Wolfenden to them two, and then them two to Chaplin, and then Chaplin to Bond is just where a lot of our issues are coming from. You could literally fit, a bus in between those gaps. It's just too big. It's too big.
Crunch,
that's my opinion.
How do you see it?
That Sarkovic yesterday, Martin, number 10. He had the freedom of Portman Road. So did Owen Doyle, the number 9. He led. I think Burgess was really poor yesterday. He led him a merry dance. Even the goals we scored, Kate, they're from they're not team goals we scored. They're from an individual bit of brilliance. You know, the 2 goals we get yesterday, Wes Burns down the right-hand side, pops a cross in, Bond scores, and then the own goal.
Persistence.
We don't create anything. You know, the 2 holding midfield. Well, are they holding midfielders? I'm still struggling to work out what either of them bring to the team. They don't do the job defensively, but they don't do the job offensively. They just don't do anything for me, Martin. I don't see, and I know you said yesterday Harper's carrying Evans. No, Evans carrying Harper, you said, didn't you?
I did.
I think they're both culpable. They don't go together. They don't complement each other. But Cookie's in-game man management for me, he just doesn't change it, does he?
Yeah, but you can also talk about Chaplin or Fraser. Like the 10 doesn't help the 2 behind either. Like there's not a teamwork in that 3. Nobody is helping each other.
I'll go 4-4-2, Martin, at the minute, because it's clearly not working with the system we're playing. But he won't change it because he's stubborn and he's a football manager, and football managers 9 times out of 10 think that they're right, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's a tough job, you know.
Let's rewind, right? We all said this international break was actually a blessing in disguise. We said it on the pod. What has happened on the training ground the last 2 weeks?
They've been out playing crazy golf, Kate, I reckon. Well, doing something, because they obviously, whatever they done on that training ground, we've had 3 games at home before, haven't we, Martin? We've conceded 2 goals in every single game. Yesterday, we conceded 5. And I'll tell you what, it came home to me after, I think it's about 25 minutes. They'd gone 2-1 up. We had a corner. I don't know if you remember it, Martin. They broke on us, and I think they were like, this was after 25 minutes, and it's 2-1 in the game. We're not chasing the game 5 minutes from time, looking for an equaliser. I think they had 5. It was either 5-on-2 or 5-on-3. And it's football suicide. It's suicide. And I know Cookie, you can blame him. The players have to step up and take responsibility on that pitch. Someone has to get a hold of them. And Mick Mills hit the nail on the head on Suffolk. I was listening this morning on the way to work. When the 4th goal went in, Martin, what did they all do? Heads down, went back to the halfway line. Nobody looked at each other. Nobody had a word with each other. It was just, oh, here we go. And there's no one in that team. There's no leaders at the minute. And I know they're a new team and they're probably getting to know each other, but you've got to be better. Someone has got to just get a grip. I don't care if someone has a stand-up argument on the pitch. At least, I'm not saying show
passion.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't care, but I want to see a bit of leadership. I want to see someone giving someone an earful. You know, if someone's made a mistake and they have to be dug out, you've got to do it. This is professional football we're talking about here. We're not playing Sunday morning down the park. Well,
and what's worrying now is we are on a roll, and there are lots of excuses, and
you can't keep using them, Kate. You can't keep. And I'll tell you what, a word I want to ban on here today, and if anyone says it, you have to put a pound in the swear jar. Do not use the word GEL, because I'm not having it anymore. It's gone.
I agree with him there, because the moment Paul Cook took Luke Wolfenden out, put a new centre half in and a new goalkeeper, the phrase gel and we need time for me is irrelevant, because the only partnership you'd built up in the first 5 games, you broke like that.
Look, we've had people on here saying, get rid of Wolfenden, he's no good. We've had it. The fisherman, he said, no, Wolfenden's no good, get rid of him.
These people hadn't seen Edmondson. I'm sorry. And Edmondson, for me, was maybe put in a position where he shouldn't have been yesterday, because he looked half a yard off it. He looked like he really needed a little bit more game time in the under-23s or training to up to speed, because he did look a half a year. He started off brightly, and then he's just...
Yeah. I know he started off brightly. He done that last-ditch tackle, didn't he, in the first 5 minutes? But, Martin, when you're doing last-ditch tackles in the first 5 minutes, does that not get alarm bells ringing for you? Because it did me.
It did me. But again, I think that comes back down to the way that they set themselves up. They had a high line, and there was pace in behind, which Burgess is many things, but pace I wouldn't put him up there with. And Walton, I mean, he's so indecisive. He's still trying to decide what to have for last night's dinner right now. That indecisive. I've never seen a goalkeeper as indecisive. It's my honest opinion.
And that's scary. Yeah. When was the last time I should have looked this up. When was the last time we shipped 5 at home?
Norwich.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Under Jewel.
Yeah. Another
yes.
poor. I think we need to as well as sort of banning Joe, I think we don't need any more managers called Paul. Sorry, I know that sounds really flippant, but I've had it. I'm done with them. Can we just go back to Sarah's comment just then about the coaching?
Yeah, Sarah John, I think we need to look at the coaching team as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're closer to it than I am. Just like...
I know Martin doesn't agree with Kate. I think I tweeted this morning about the assistant manager. You're not having it. But I spoke to Hox this morning and he hit the nail on the head. Now, Paul Cook's standing there. He looks a lonely man standing on that line. And he's got behind him, he's got Gary Roberts, who, when he appointed him, was still a player at Accrington and Stanley. And I don't know what he's got now. He had no coaching badges. Franny Jeffers, who was at Everton 23s. Now, have they got the, excuse my French, bollocks to challenge the manager when we're not doing things in the game? Are they going to stand up and say, Paul, I don't agree with you there. I think that's wrong.
Absolutely not.
And you've got evidence to say that. Why? What made you believe that? Where's the evidence that leads you to that?
What, that I don't...
Franny Jeffers, a Scouser, a strong personality, being under 23's coach, stroke manager in his own right. I think he's got every strength of character to say, Paul, this isn't working. Paul, do you think you should do this?
Well, someone's not talking to Cook because look at the fucking mess we're in.
That's Paul Cook. Trust me, right? And I've been thinking about this long and hard because a lot of people in the chat have also said the same thing. Sorry to cut across you there, Kat. I know you're about to speak. We've got Michael Finch. We need a defensive coach and number 2 because right now we are number 2. And these sort of comments aren't really, individual. It's a collective. And I just feel management of anything, a football team, a business, a platform, you need to listen to people, but you have to make your own decisions. And there's many times, Crunch, when you come to me with one thing, or Matt does, or Kate does, or Callie does, you got to listen. But you ultimately got to say, well, this is the way we're going to do it.
You never listen to me or Matt.
No, but Paul
He never
Cook,
listens to Kate. He always thinks he's right up there.
Paul Cook,
Not out of 10 years, actually.
Well, thank you very much. But Paul Cook, the one thing we were told by Baz at Wigan, by Freddie at Portsmouth, was consistent. He doesn't make that many changes from the bench. Yeah. And he's a 4-2-3-1. So as I asked Ben Moore this morning, because he texted me saying, we need a number 2. What do you want this number 2 to do? Because the things you're seeing from Paul Cook are the things you saw with Liam Richardson. This is Paul Cook. What's number 2 going to do other than say, Paul, we should do this, and then Paul go, nah.
Hox. I don't want to keep bringing Hox up, but he's friends with Scott Loach. He's at Chesterfield. Friends. Cooking at Chesterfield. And a lot of their fans are saying the same thing. He had Liam Richardson. He's got that trusted number 2. Just that sounding board there. Just someone.
Again, House. Sorry. Sorry.
But then, you look at Liam and you look at Culverhouse, and they're both having their own success.
You get Terry. Get Terry with Mick. They're together, wherever Mick goes, Terry's with him. Yeah. What would Mick be without Terry?
But Terry's highly experienced. They've been on a journey together. These two aren't as experienced as Paul. I don't know. I just feel like just in the workplace, like away from football.
So where'd you get your number 2, Kate? Where'd you get your number 2? Because obviously Cook had Liam Richardson, right? And he trusted him. Where does he get that? If we get to number 2, where does he get him from? Because it's got to be obviously someone he trusts with everything. And they come as a partnership. Where does that come from?
I don't know, but it's hard to think that 2 inexperienced guys are going to tell him what to do.
I agree.
That wouldn't happen outside of football. Or that wouldn't happen 2 junior members of staff telling the boss what to do. I don't know. I feel like it's that kind of dynamic.
I disagree. Okay. I do disagree. Just from a pure standpoint of the manager has a DNA and a philosophy. And there'll be games, there'll be times when, as a coach, you will say, you know, we're coming up against Bolton. They've got Sarcevic on the wing. They've got Doyle up front. We need to counter it with this, or this. But ultimately, the buck stops with the management.
We are getting that. Ian Everett yesterday absolutely took Cook to the cleaners.
Yeah.
Coaching. And he's a rookie. He was at Barrow, Martin. He was at Barrow in the conference.
Because it's incredibly easy. Because Paul Cook is notoriously known for things such as 4-2-3-1 and not making changes from the bench. His in-game management. It will be his downfall. It will be. And arguably, it's probably why, you know, he respectfully didn't get a better job after Wigan. Because he did a good job at Wigan before the financial mess.
Oh, yeah, he done really well there.
But nobody in the Championship thought to look at him. I don't know. You know, I would have thought QPR, or someone such as that level of football club, may have looked at him. They may well have done. But back to the coaches, and number 2 for me, in my opinion, is there more for a player perspective. It's that middleman between manager and captain and players. He is the soother, or he's the bad guy. So in the O'Neill, Roy Keane type of thing, Martin O'Neill's a real give you a hug, lots of love, get lots of praise. Roy Keane will tell you you're basically shit. Here we don't know the dynamics, so maybe that's what's missing. Maybe there's not enough bad guys on the training ground, or not enough good guys. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if the assistant, or certainly a defensive coach, like, we're not dealing with kids here. If you don't know how to defend at 23, 24, 28, fucking give up now. Give up now, because you've got no
responsibility, innit? You've got to take responsibility on the pitch. When you cross that white line, the players, they do have to take a lot of responsibility, Martin, but we all know what happens in the end. It's the manager who gets the sack. Yeah,
it is. We've got Ben Moore would die, Benny. Oh, Jesus, wept. Already, already hearing the words, it would die, be any worse. I mean, Zach Ward, Cook us to play a full strength side on Tuesday. Can't keep blaming lack of time to gel and then make wholesale changes.
To pick up on Zach's point there, are the nerves starting to set in ahead of Tuesday? Like, does it feel nervy?
There's a nervousness in the stadium, isn't there, Martin? You can tell when we never give ourselves a chance as a team, Kate, because in several of these games, we've scored the first goal. We never give ourselves 15, 20 minutes to enjoy that moment as a fan. We're giving a goal away 3 or 4 minutes later, and that's the nervousness. And you think, here we go. It's human nature, isn't it? It's like, here we go again.
Once we're getting that thing that all sides get when they concede a goal. The jaw hits the floor, or the chin hits the floor, and it's a bit of a heavy burden on the shoulders, because now it's it's one of those things where you concede and you expect to lose almost. I don't know. It's a really tough situation at the moment, because Paul Lambert did more with Ollie Hawkins, Aaron Drinnan and Stephen Ward than Paul Cook did. And now Paul Cook's got much better players at his disposal. And yet the only time I ever saw a team look this bad under Lambert was at Doncaster away. And that's Doncaster. And you can say what you like about Bolton's 4 in 32 crunch. They played in League 2 last year. Like, they've been beaten by Cambridge this year. That's one of the 4 that they've not won. We're not talking a team coming down from the Premier League.
They've got a winning mentality, Martin, which we haven't got at the minute. And I know we are a new team, but as a club, we don't have that mentality. That's why.
Chipping 5 goals is not a winning mentality.
No, I know that. But this is why, going back to Zach's point there now, I agree with him. I think Tuesday night, Cook needs a win. Look, it's the Papa John's trophy. It's not top of the list. At the minute, he needs to get a win wherever he can. We're playing West Ham kids. And I did say to Colin asked me yesterday, Kate, on the full-time show, Colin said they should play a full-strength team. And I come back with him, what happens if the full-strength team loses to West Ham under-21s? What do we do then?
We wet the bed.
Captain Bedwetter, there she is. I'm vice-captain, by the way.
Okay, so how patient are the owners going to be? The fans, well, like myself, are getting angsty, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't think so?
Go on, Rich.
I think it's changing. I think, mate, because you know what I think of Cook, and me and Matt were big on him, weren't we? When I went to that game yesterday, Kate, I thought, right, we've had 2 weeks on the training field. It's like the season's starting again today, and then watching that, massive alarm bells are going off in my head, thinking, what have we been doing for 2 weeks? And then he comes out.
Is that a Hurst vibe I can hear coming over there?
It is a Hurst vibe. But then he comes out afterwards in his post-match when Brenner asked him, are you worried? And he says no. And then now he's basically, guys, he's putting all his eggs in the Sam Morsey basket.
Here's a question.
Saying this wouldn't happen when Sam Morsey's in the team. We wouldn't be like this. We would be 10 times better.
Here's a question for you two and a question for the chat. When Sam Morsey's back available for selection, will Paul Cook even be in the dugout?
Well, that's 2 games' time, isn't it? So obviously he's going to play Tuesday, Morsey, but we've got Lincoln and we've got Sheffield Wednesday. It's like Lee Anderson said yesterday at full time. It's not like the defeats now. It'll be the manner of defeats that cost him. If we go to Lincoln on Saturday and we get rolled over 3-0,
I can see it. I can see that
yeah.
happening. I'm sorry
disagree.
to anyone who's going from Suffolk all the way up to Lincoln. That is a rough journey.
This is a question, right? Have you ever met anyone from Lincoln? Because it seems like sort of the Bermuda Triangle of city of places in England that you never meet anybody that says I'm from Lincoln.
Been to Sinsel Bank a few times.
Yeah, but no one ever comes out of Lincoln. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can go all over the world and meet Irishmen. You can meet people from Yorkshire, people from London, even people from Plymouth. I've never once met someone from Lincoln. I saw Gary Croft turn out for Lincoln once up at Sinsel Bank. You see, that's clutching at straws there, you see? That's a good question. Has anyone ever met anyone from Lincoln not actually Lincoln?
Lee Brown is right, though. They've got a lovely cathedral there.
They do.
Have got a nice cathedral. It's true. It is true. So you get it all on this show. You really do. Nothing else offers this type of in-depth passion. And then a case of the Bermuda Triangle of places in England. Monty, this is a set of players taking the field with no belief they have a plan. Tom James, I'm travelling across from Notts. More looking forward to the pub before. Daniel Hill, welcoming Daniel. I'd never go out to Lincoln. That FA Cup replay still gives me nightmares. Zach Ward, I think. Zach Ward had a great idea, didn't he? I think pay $5 million for Liam Richardson. Zach learnt the hard way that you can't say anything on Twitter as a joke, because you've got to be 100% factual and on it. I got the joke, Zach, but I don't think other people did. I'll tell you what, talk about an Irishman. Ipswich Mark is in the room. See? Right. Irishman, no Lincoln. Mark, welcome.
Hi, guys.
How are you, Mark?
Grand, not a bother.
You're grand, are you? I'm not grand.
I'm grand, fine, brilliant. You were talking about meeting up with a Lincoln fan. I met a Lincoln fan on holidays a couple of years ago in Lanzarote, and we sat there, and Lincoln, I think, had only just got promoted. And then he says, we're going to be going to nice stadiums like Portman Road. And so, of course, so we became Facebook buddies and all the usual. And as soon as we went to Lincoln, Lincoln hammered us. So every time we play, have a bit of banter.
So you unfriended him?
Not yet. I will next week.
Wednesday morning.
So you're like Kate. You're a bit obviously sort of removed from it because of your locality. What are you making from it across the Irish scene?
When I listen to the games and work all the time, obviously, and watch all the extended highlights and read all the bits and pieces. As a fan, I feel I'm being cheated again this season. They promised so much. Don't get me wrong; it's fantastic that Lampard is gone and all that stuff, and the stadium looks lovely and all the shebang. But the fact is, we haven't actually got any better. At times, they're exciting, really are. All the goals coming down the wings and all that. It's fantastic stuff. But we can't defend. Sort of collectively, we can't defend as a team, and that's the problem. And the fact that we're bottom of Division 3.
Kate's not seen that yet.
The fact that we're bottom of Division 3 isn't acceptable, really, is it? And currently, we're embarrassing. So,
I've got a question for you, Mark.
Go on.
How did you react yesterday on 83 minutes when he made that game-changing substitution?
Right, listen. Right. Bringing on Jackson. right? When we needed a goal, when we need anyone to shoot in the direction of the goal, in the little that he brings on Jackson. Now, I've got a problem with that because he's got 2 players, proven goal scorers at this level, who've already bloody scored this season.
I told you, I knew you'd go off on one.
I'm looking at it going, fucking really? I said, listen, I liked Jackson when he came. I thought he ran over the place. It was brilliant. But last year, again, I always go back to the bloody game against Rochdale. He comes on. There's everyone knows where the goal is in the stadium. Everyone knows where the goal is. Caden Jackson does not know where the goal is. And this nonsense, he got into some great positions. Fuck off. Great positions. The only great position you need is to put the ball and shoot. He can get the ball. He's ridiculous. I'm really sorry. And Ed Sheeran should be in that bloody squad ahead of him. I just don't get it.
I think to be fair,
I feel sorry for the Aston Villa lad, the young fella, probably scratching his head.
I think at that point, though, Mark, I think it was more the game was lost, and it was just give minutes to a player that he's not going to get many minutes. And to be fair to Caden, we don't see training. He's obviously got his head down, worked hard to get himself back into that position. I would say, actually, the bigger sub, and they'll write a whole chapter on this, right after the Miles Kenlock, Stephen Ward, Fleetwood substitution. That was also a tactical masterstroke from Paul Cook, where he brought Tom Carroll on to play as a holding midfield player at 5-2 down. Talk about, way too late. It wasn't done at half time.
Should have done it half time, man. That's when the
holding midfielder. Why doesn't he put one on from the start? Why doesn't he tell one of them? I've been saying this for weeks. I think I said on this program before. Why doesn't he tell one of them just to defend and the other one to go? I know Cruncher's mentioned it a lot that we needed someone like Cole Skews, that type of player, to just do the dirty work. And I have a feeling, it's a horrible thing to say already, but have we already seen players who we've bought who aren't going to be good enough? Have we already seen them? Now, we're only 6 games in. Have we already seen players who we've bought who will not be good enough?
No, disagree with that. No, I think at the moment we're a team that lack a plan. We lack a plan. That's simple as that, really. And we need some decisions made, some big decisions. And I don't think we're getting them from necessarily like Crunch, Tom Carroll. For me, forgetting the scoreline, one of the players going off should have been Raheem Harper or Lee Evans. It should not have been Connor Chaplin.
Well, not when you're 5-2 down, Mike. Why are you doing that? Just to keep the score down? That's obviously all it was, wasn't it? We've shipped 5. We don't want to let any more in. Just sit in front of that back 4. Should have made the change at half time. He was in my lineup before the game. Tom Carroll. You don't play up nearly 100 appearances in the Premier League by being average, do you? Neither Harper. You can see now why West Brom got rid of him, Martin.
But the thing is, every player needs competition, and so far, every time Tom Carroll has graced the turf of Portman Road, it hasn't been in replacement of one of them two. It's been in addition to. I want to see
in their jobs. I said to you full time.
So take one of them off.
Totally agree with you.
20 minutes sat on the sidelines watching somebody else do their job, worrying. Actually, am I going to get in next week? Am I going to start? Am I like? Where's the rocket? Where's the fire? You've played 5-6 games now. We haven't won a game. Midfield has been woeful in every single one of them. Fuck me, drop both of them. Bring the young lad in, Adam Humphreys. Give him a rocket. Give him something to think about. That's what I want.
He's his brother, Adam.
He's his brother. Fuck off with names. When I'm angry, I can't do names. You're lucky I can do coherent sentences sometimes. But I was stood in the chip shop queue last night, right, Kate? And waiting for me haddock and chips, which by the way was lovely. Yeah. And somebody said to me,
envious now.
Somebody said to me, watch the show, tell us, was it as bad? And I was like, honestly, I can't really tell you because I feel like I've, you only go through a traumatic experience and your brain can't quite compute what you've seen. So all last night, I was in this daze of
zoned out, didn't you?
Yeah, and then this morning I've woken up and it's hit me like a ton of bricks, and I am fuming, like frothing at the mouth with anger because it was shell shocking. I can't put into words how shocking yesterday was. 10 days or more in on the training ground, Mark, and they take a giant turd in the middle
So,
of it.
Mark, how long do you think Cook's got then?
Listen, I think if he was genuinely the manager who was picked by the owners, then he's going to be here for a while. I think maybe the problem is that they promised too much too soon. Yes, they said they hope and their aim is to get promoted this year, but and anything we've seen so far, it doesn't look like it in any way, shape, or form. Like if you look at all the games that we played so far, in a dark room, you wouldn't have picked out those results. You wouldn't. So
No.
I think he's going to get a little bit more time. But, and here's the but, if we get hammered again by Lincoln next week and get hammered by, is it Sheffield Wednesday? As in hammered, like the same as yesterday,
Okay. All right, Mark.
And, it's depressing to see, like, Sunderland, obviously they've been absolutely awful.
12 points ahead of us already.
And now they're top of the league. And it's just like, gosh, that's what we were promised. So that's just really hard to take.
Yeah. Progress is a word.
Isn't it?
Progress is a word.
So much, and we aren't getting anything at the moment.
Well, the thing is, though, I do think they'll probably feel the same. Like they've ridden here on their their great white horse, and they're here to save the day of Ipswich Town Football Club and take it back to its promised land.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone sitting in in America or wherever they may be thinking fiddling while Rome is burning, so to speak. To use, I mean, Marcus Evans did say Rome in one of his press conferences. They're going to be equally as embarrassed, equally as confused, and they want progress and they want to take this football club back. And I think the questions they'll be asking themselves today, Crunch, Kate, will be: have we seen progress from here when we took charge to here?
No.
Exactly.
Go back even further, when Paul Cook was announced, we were in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I say something? When Paul Cook managed to get our so-called crap team last year, he got results, not a load of results, but he got more results with that team than he did with his own players currently, against, I'd suggest, probably better opposition.
He's put himself under pressure, hasn't he? Because he come in and basically said, that lot of crap, I'm getting rid of the whole lot of you, you're going. And now he's got his own team in. And we're only 6 games in, but the start, it's not the defeats. It's like Lee Anderson said at full time, Martin, it's the manner of the defeat. If yesterday we'd have lost that game, say we'd have lost 2-1, we'd have played quite well, we were unlucky, we'd have come out of the ground pissed off. Then you'd have looked at it in probably today, we'd have all calmed down. But when we come out of the ground yesterday, we're fuming. We're still fuming now. 5-2. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate you, buddy.
No problem, guys. Be good.
Greg says, I don't recall being promised promotion this season. In fact, we were told to be patient. And he is right there. That's why I say progress. It's about progress, isn't it? You want to go from 9th place to 6th place, maybe to 5th place to 3rd to 1st. Like, I don't see progress with his players or without his players. But I'm often accused of wanting Paul Cook to foul, so it's a bit tough for me to speak.
You might find out. I spoke to my boss this morning. I speak to him every Sunday. Big Coventry fan, and he said it might be that the next manager is the one, not Cook now, who benefits from these players.
Oh yeah, it could well be. It could well be. A few comments from the chat. We've got Paul Hedger. The only positive so far is the turn up by the supporters. Yeah, and they did not deserve yesterday. And that's what we're talking about, isn't it? The manner of the defeat, the lack of plan, the lack of imagination. And to be fair, Macaulay Bond doesn't deserve this because he has been a sensation. He is our best player.
He's the only shining light. He's the only positive.
This is classic Town, right? Okay, I bet you $1 million we'll sort ourselves out, and then he'll go on a goal drought. And we'll probably draw games 0-0. We'll probably draw games 0-0 or lose 1-0 because we're that's just classic Town, right? Find a goal scorer, can't keep a clean sheet. Lose the goal scorer, keep clean sheet. Like we can never have nice shiny things, can we?
No. Can we just change tack for a minute and just talk about some of these quotes post match? I feel Cook's like turning into Roy Keane. Listen to one of these questions. journalist says, do you think it's in the coaching? Oh, come on, mate. Next question. It's a fair question. I've answered your questions. I respect you're doing your job, but you're just asking negative after negative. Well, what positives are there? After a 5-2 defeat at home, and we're 22nd in the league.
Did they also ask him, Kate, about the 4 wins in 25? And then he said it's unfair of you to judge me on last season because it basically wasn't my team. That's what he's saying as well.
It's tough, isn't it, at the moment? It's tough.
Yeah, it's when I read these quotes, and I interviewed Roy, and I did plenty of one-on-one interviews with him. It really does have like the touch of Keane there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. His first season, particularly, where he didn't. What was it? Was it 16 games he didn't win in? Something silly like that. It was a long time.
It came on Halloween.
Yeah, it was a long time, and then we petered out into a 14th place position, and we picked up towards the end of the year. I think.
I'll take 14th right now.
But the thing is, right now maybe, but long term, this is a squad that, and this is where it's an internal battle as a fan, because the squad has been built to win, and it's just not winning. And I do trust the process, as I've said before. That's the difference here. Like I trust that we've got, the game changers who have got success at other clubs. We've got Mark Ashton who's got success at other clubs. We haven't got, the Chuckle brothers or whoever running the football club. I trust that the process and I trust the conversations they're maybe having today over Zoom are the ones that you would want from your ownership and your leadership. And I think as fans, we just got to trust that and respond to what we see on the football pitch. And at the moment, it's really poor.
But what were the buzzwords? What were the buzzwords? Running towards adversity.
Well, did you
have you seen anything so far, Martin, in them 6 games that comes from them? Because I've not seen anything. We don't look fit, neither. We don't look fit. We were told we were going to be stronger. We were going to be faster. We're going to all these things that we were told. And I know it's only 6 games this season, and it could all turn around. We could win the next 2 or 3 games, and then we're sitting here in a couple of weeks' time. It looks a whole lot different, doesn't it? Because football does change like that. But at this precise minute, I can't see where. Can you see where a win's coming from? Because I
Tom
can't.
James limping towards mediocrity so far. Graham Tate, who's the best keeper? I want to give Bolton more chance than just that 90. But as debuts go, it's up there with Larson Torren, Sonny or Shawnee Aluko. It's up there. Who, by the way, he looked all right yesterday.
He was good. He looked fitter, didn't he, yesterday? I thought he was when the teams are read out and I see his name, I thought, oh my God. But he was, I said, Kate, at full time, there was 3 players, Bon, Wes Burns and Aluko were the only 3 who really I thought could look themselves in the mirror and say, yeah, I've put in a shift today. The rest of them, no.
Yeah.
I've just followed Wes Burns' mum on Twitter. I wonder if we can get her on the pod.
She's great value on Twitter. I do like her upbeatness. I really do. And obviously, Hayden Coulston's dad is also on Twitter, and he's a really good character. And you just got hope, as he said previously, that when they settle into their respective digs or homes, that we see it, and the more they get training, this is why I'd play a strong team Tuesday, because I treat it like a more intense training session. Like the last 10 days have been as a supporter in your mind, it's been 11v11, intense. Well, Tuesday will be a competitive game that matters to the opposition, will matter to you, and you can use it as Newport should have been used, as that more intense training session with 11 players that you feel. And if you get an injury, so be it. You've got a big enough squad that you can manage that now.
You can't replicate, Martin, in training what you want to do in a game, can you?
And as Anderson said during the summer, guys, you can't replicate taking a corner from that narrow piece of Portman Road. You can't replicate, as Edmondson found yesterday, the bounce of the ball going over your head. You need to be playing at Portman Road to know how the ball bounces, how it runs, how it skids, how they water it at half time that affects the second half. All these different things as fans you don't take into account, but as players and pros you've got to, and you only do it by learning and playing. And we're not doing them a service. And I really come back to Luke Wolfenden, and I feel for him yesterday because Burgess and him were the only partnership you really could hang your hat on at any point and say, yes, Wolfie's not been the best player over the last 24 or last 12 months, but them two together complement each other. And Burgess yesterday had his worst game I've seen since he arrived, and I want to put that down to.
He's got a 3. Andy Warren gave him a 3 in the East Anglian.
He did. Yes, 3. Yes, yeah. I think Jeremy gave him a 3 as well. Skip intro. Gov, if that was a valid excuse, every away team would lose most games. That's Bobbins. Sorry. Well, no, because that's not just the case, is it? And that all right, it's Bobbins. Fine. That's fine. I mean, Edmondson didn't go for a header that bounced over his head yesterday. I mean, because he didn't understand the bounce of the ball. That I mean, I must have missed that. I'd tell you a name to keep an eye on. Not inside information. In fact, it's not inside information at all. But I see people mentioning names of managers that they'd want to see. Adi Boothroyd. That's a name to keep an eye on. Just because
if he comes to town, my season ticket's going down the garden in about 1,000 pieces.
It's no chance. It's not inside information, but it's just a name to keep an eye on because I know he's out of work for following England, and I know Ashton and him have history. Yeah. I think Ashton gave him the chance at Watford.
He's at Watford. Yeah.
And he's got a medium of success. But if it was to happen, I've seen Wilder. That's not who I'd want, by the way. That's just a name I'd suggest keeping an eye on. How would you feel about that, Kate? Rich is obviously going to pack it in. Would you stop looking at the highlights?
I mean, it would just be hoofball, wouldn't it? Also, I know a friend of mine that worked in football, a woman. He was really nasty to her. Well, I've only had one side of the story, but anyway, I'm not going there. But
you have to look at coaches that have either got good pedigree and that can be attracted, Wilder being one, or coaches that have got a relationship, and Ashton and Boothroyd have that past relationship.
Even Parry, Mike, I wouldn't be against Michael Appleton.
I don't know where that came from though. That's a name that he's got a 5-year deal.
He's got some guns. Have you seen his guns, Kate? Woo.
No, but in seriousness,
I'll Google them after the show.
In all seriousness, do you see this football club wanting to pay the level of compensation for a manager that hasn't ever really accomplished anything higher than this division?
He wouldn't be. Look, I wouldn't be against him. Chris Wilder would probably be top of the list, wouldn't it? Chris Wilder, Eddie Howe, would they drop down?
Eddie Howe, no chance.
Someone's just mentioned John Terry in the chat.
Yeah, someone tweeted that the other week, Kate, and I absolutely rinsed him on Twitter because I thought that's absolutely nonsense.
Hey, I wasn't saying who I would want in charge. I was just saying as a name to. He's out there. It's in the open. I was just, Tom James, Appleton's done well because he's built a project. We're clearly not here for a project right now. Fans and owners want instant success. Track the boy Botswana. Can't get rid of Cook. Take it off the agenda. Well,
if we want instant success, we're going to be one of these clubs who are sacking managers every 5 minutes. If that's what we're wanting,
people
Cookie gets 4 more games, sack him after 10. We bring in another manager. It doesn't work for 20, 25 games. And then he goes, and then we're just on that cycle.
Why not? Where's Leeds? Where's Watford? Why not?
You want to become like Watford?
I would fucking love to be like Watford right now.
Sacking a manager every 5 minutes.
Well, tell me who are Watford playing today or yesterday or next week.
Well, I get that. I do get that, Martin, but
people often disparage those sorts of football clubs, but sometimes you can go a bit mad with it. But another times you got to recognise, look, like in this instance, a mistake's a mistake. It's not happening. It's not working. Do you prolong? And this is what we've often done at Town: prolong the agony or the inevitable to the point where it's too late. Paul Hurst was for me a dead man walking pre-Swansea. Forget the Swansea result, but that saved him, some say, for a couple of more weeks. Then you've got Paul Jewell. Again, we prolonged that. Roy Keane, we prolonged that. You can go. There's a balance to it, and at the moment, I feel Town are just too slow. And this is a new era. Maybe this is the time we actually.
Would you sack him? Would you get rid of him today?
Predetermined question. You got an honest answer from my heart right now. Whether you like that Or
I'm not getting rid of him now. I'm giving him 4 more games, and I'm going to see where we are. I think we need to win at least 2 of them games, Martin. I really do. I think we need to go unbeaten in the next 4 games, but I think we need to win a couple of them.
Give him till the next international break, and that's what, mid-November?
No, there's one in October, Kate, I think.
Sorry, beg your pardon.
But
George says 6 games in, are you mad? But it's not 6 games in. It's not 6 games in. I don't care if he wants to say forget last season. Last season happened. We took over. We're inside the playoffs. We narrowly got beat at Sunderland. We competed with them under Paul Lambert. Lambert beat Hull. Like, the team, was it as bad as it ended up being, or was this a result of the management? Like
last season we kept plenty clean sheets. We couldn't score. This season we're scoring loads, but we're just shipping goals for fun, aren't we?
Well, except AFC Wimbledon and Northampton, 2 teams that were fighting relegation, completely handed us our backside.
Well, yeah, we got spanked, didn't we?
You know, like some fans like myself are obviously viewing last season, and some
Paul Bird says the C is on the bed sheet.
C is on the bed sheet. It certainly is. Yeah, you ask me a question, you're going to get an honest answer. That's always the way from me.
Good manager. Don't know if he's the manager for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be a good manager and not fit as Mick said yesterday, and not fit the club or not be at the right moment. Fickle gov. Well, to be fair, I've often criticised Paul Cook. I have been consistent with that.
True.
You know, I expected a little bit better from last year. Mark, maybe we should just for now try and get the bottom 3 and forget about promotion, and maybe we might make the playoffs. Mike Woods, Ronaldo scored again. We might need. Oh fuck, did he?
But we can't go on about all these new players, because you look at, we're on about Liam Richardson, and look how many players Wigan signed, and look how they've started.
Yeah,
and they've got Zinedine. What did Barry call him? Will Keane, Martin. What did he call him?
I can't remember. To remind me.
I can't remember what he called him. But he got another 2 goals yesterday, Will Keane. When we had him, he couldn't hit the bloody cow's arse with a banjo, could he?
No, he certainly couldn't. He really couldn't. Hey, we go, we move. Kate, over to you.
I just can't believe how excited we were in the summer.
Yeah.
This. And we all said to people like, oh, like, what should we do to contain our excitement and manage our expectations? And yeah, I didn't think we'd be 22nd.
It wasn't on the tin, was it, Kate? We didn't think this. It was a shiny, brand new project. But I agree with you, Mine. We had 19,500 yesterday. Sooner or later, the fans are bringing the atmosphere. We're turning up. We're positive. You're looking forward to going down there. Sooner or later, the players have to deliver. They have to deliver. We can't keep turning up next time, Sheffield Wednesday, another defeat, another draw. Sooner or later, you have to win football matches. That's the be-all and end-all. We've got 3 points. We've got 3 points from 18. Sunderland have got 15 points, 12 points already. That is where we want to be aiming, or where we hope to be aiming, didn't we, at the start of the season? If you look at the playoffs now, we're 9 points off 6. And I know people say 6 games, and that's why I'm saying give it 10 games. Then you'll see the table sort of taking shape and where you're probably going to be sort of. And I know you'll have your Blackpools, your people who say your Blackpools, they struggled last year, which they did, but
yeah.
That doesn't happen every single season, does it? A team's having an absolute stinking run and then go on although we did under George Burley when he was manager back in I think in the 90s when we were in the old First Division. But
hey, there's nothing more I would love than us for him to turn it around and give us some results and positivity, because nobody wants to be sacking a manager and nobody wants to have this negativity after 6 games. But the fact is, you can say it's a new club, new players, new coaching staff, but a manager also has to work with what he was given. He knew the job coming into it. Last year, but it wasn't great, and this year has sort of carried itself on. And you know, yesterday I don't like getting beat, but if you get beat, you get beat. It's football. It's the changes. You know, it's the in-game changes or the lack of, and those things don't change. And you know, you either are an in-game tactician or you're not. And I don't think he is. I think he's a plan A, and if plan A don't work, you know, it's almost like Kate, shock and awe. We'll shock and awe with plan A, and when it doesn't shock and awe the opposition, well, we kind of have a water pistol, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
we've got nothing in reserve. You know,
yeah.
I want to be positive. I want to do shows that are
Of
positive.
course,
You
of
know what I mean?
course.
Like,
You
I
don't.
don't like spending an hour of my day being angry or waking up angry, or because it really affects me when Ipswich Town don't do well. Like when Ipswich Town are doing really well, I love football deeply. I watch every game I possibly can, watch all the highlights. I can't stand football right now. I can't watch it. I can't think about it. I can't even bear to look at a screen with football on it, because it's when Town are doing badly like this, it really affects me. It really does. It means that much to me, you know. And I just want to see this football club do well.
And you'll get a lot of people who've put money in this season, like new season ticket holders, Martin, because on what they've been sold, you know, new team, new owners, we're going to get out of this league. And you know, not just Town fans, this is football fans in general, are fickle. And if we start doing badly, they'll think, well, I'm not going to go. Why should I pay that money? Or rock up on a match day and pay like, what was it, 25, 27 quid? Why should I do that? I'll go somewhere else.
Or like Crunch, your kids, or like Martin and I both have boys that will no doubt be Town fans. Like, how can you sell it to the next generation?
Mine are brainwashed already, Kate. They've been going since they were like 2, and they love going. But it's like Colin was saying yesterday. We're on the full-time show, and there's like some kids watching us. Colin's only like 2/3 of his life. He's known Ipswich to be successful. But we want to be successful, not just so for us, but your kids, mine's kids, my kids. I want to go to these. I don't want to keep going to bloody Accrington and Stanley and no disrespect to them grounds, you know. But once you've been there, Lincoln. Who wants to go to Lincoln? I'm going to Lincoln again on Saturday. But why am I putting myself through it? Because I love my club, and I'll wake up Saturday morning. I'll be excited that I'm going to a game thinking, is it going to turn around today? Because you live in hope. And it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? It always is.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. And obviously, you got Norwich up the road playing Arsenal, playing Leicester, playing Man United, playing Man City. You know, watching Cristiano Ronaldo this year. They've seen Sergio Aguero. They've seen other top players, Luis Suarez. Our best player I've probably seen has been, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Who's the guy at Watford now? Was it Derby, midfield player, blonde hair?
Will Hughes.
That's probably the best player we've seen at Portman Road in that time. Do you know what I mean? Like a million miles away. And Chris Boyd said you can't watch much football in the last 15 years. No, I haven't. Honestly. Like
We've been starved, haven't we? We had one playoff season. That was it.
It really is, you know. And
we all did moan. We need to be honest with ourselves. We all moaned at McCarthy. We wanted better football. We didn't like watching his football. It was boring. He went. So some of this has to fall on us, Martin. It does. I'm sorry. I look, mixed football was absolutely dire. I had a season ticket there. Some of the games, night games, I didn't go. I didn't want to spend 2 hours on the road, getting home late, getting up early in the morning because the football was absolutely shit. Get in
the bin. It's not our fault. Not our fault at all. Not our fault at all. It's not our fault that when we brought in Hirsch, we then sold we sold Waghorn, we sold Garner, brought in Jackson, etc., etc. And likewise here, it's not our responsibility to get this bunch of fantasy football League One players performing as a cohesive unit.
We're back in the club. We're back in the team. They need to pull their fingers out and do something on that pitch.
Yeah. Well, I think they will. I think, as I say, the process at Portman Road is much better than it has been in previous years. So if and when they make that, if they do, it'll be the right time and it'll be the right appointment afterwards. I've got every faith that the ingredients here will do a head chef, be it Paul Cook or otherwise, really well. I've just seen enough to know that I don't think it's going to get much better, but it could do it, and I hope it does. I really do. I really, really hope it does. Callie, I'm going to see us play West Ham on Trent 3 on Tuesday night. Just hope A14 M6 is kind. Ben's 19. Never give up on my side ever. But right now, I feel like, what's the point? I'm not going to give up on the team ever. I mean, look at what I'm doing here. You know, there's how much I care about it. Last night, okay, Saturday evening, about 10:30. What were you both doing on a Saturday night about 10:30?
I was in bed.
Yeah, maybe a few drinks, maybe a sleep, maybe that's how. Yeah, what were you doing?
I was watching a fantastic young girl play tennis, and she was out of this world. Emma Raducanu.
She was great.
Did you watch it, Martin?
No, I was sat at this
Amazing.
I was sat at this desk working on this platform, scheduling shows, sorting artwork, prediction leagues, all these, because I care about what we're doing here and I feel passionate about my football team. On a Saturday night, this sad git was sat at this chair with his head buried in, I don't know what it was.
Well, you had to do something because I texted you, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah. But so I don't want to be sacking managers today, tomorrow. I want to be talking about top of the league, unbeaten, talking about Nou Camp, talking about Barcelona, talking about fantastic things in life. Not playing Lincoln and thinking how much we're going to get beat by. Do you know what I mean?
And we all know who will probably score for Lincoln Saturday.
Oh, fuck off. He'll be injured by then. He's got a week of training. To get through since yet. We all know he's paper thin, made of biscuits, rich tea.
Yeah, they might be made of biscuits, but these players seem to leave our club and then they're never injured.
Yeah. Gov Crunch, how did you feel at half time? Well,
yesterday.
Yeah. How did you feel?
I'd have took 2-2. It was the attack before. Bon had a really good chance, didn't he? Burns again and he couldn't sort his feet out. Literally, Martin. They went bang bang up the other end. Have you seen the third goal again?
Yeah.
Where is the right back?
Well, the centre back that's playing right back at the time. That's why he's where he is.
He's got sucked right in. My Lord.
Yeah.
Watch that
Duncan says sack now. You have to see Billy Big Balls now and change the way we've been set up to progress forward quickly. Stephen Parry kind of sums up what the show. So we've done an hour and 8 minutes, but we really needed 30 seconds. We are where we are. Let's just get on with it. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about having opinions. Stop bloody sitting on the fence and getting splinters in your backside. You are allowed to have an opinion and go against us, or I don't know.
Jem says, Gov, you look really down, Matt. I know it's tough, but it'll get better. It absolutely will. It just, I feel like I've been sold a dud. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, you definitely have.
I feel bad because all summer I'm in the WhatsApp groups. I'm rah-ing. We've got ambitions. We're going to really progress. We're going to win the league. I'm really rah-ing. I'm making, like, Neil Moles played football on a Saturday. I've made him give up football to come watch football, telling him how great it's going to be. I know. So I'm wearing that. I know, exactly. And I'm just, we're not as great as I thought we'd be. In fact, Lambert's football looked good better this. These kept the ball for more than 5 minutes. But my thoughts, to answer the question from Botswana, I thought this is the time that Paul Cook could really step up, show he's got some in-game management, because the first half showed you how open we were. We were 3-2 down, still in the game. Just a few tactical tweaks, a few situational tweaks, and who knows?
What did we do? Absolutely bugger all, and by 10 minutes into the second half, it was game done. And we could have all gone home then.
Absolutely. Right. Let's probably leave it there, shall we?
Do you want to end on my crunch and tackle? Because have a bit of a laugh.
Do I want to end on...
Kate's got a new job tomorrow, so good luck to you, Kate.
Yep. Good luck to you, Kate. Love and appreciate you.
The alarm's going to go off early.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
I will finish on Cruncher's tackle.
Right, so we all need to have a laugh. We need to rewind back to April 2021. Now, we played this on the show then, didn't we, Martin?
We did.
And it was great then. So if Martin's got the clip, we have to play this to roll into the second, what happened afterwards. So
we do.
This is
with me.
This man you would not mess with. You wouldn't mess with him. If you get a Glasgow kiss, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't mess with him, right? Is it this one? No, it's not this one.
No, that's the second part.
That's the second part. We want the first part. Do apologise. Bear with me a second, folks. This one here. This is the video, I think. Yes, this is it. Let me just take that off. Stop share screen. Share screen. Now you're seeing how the inner workings were, right? Share the audio. Here we go. Boom. Right. Let me start that again. Let me go to that. And you should, in a second, be able to hear this.
Hey, young Tom. You're right, son. It's Duncan Ferguson here from Everton Football Club. I just want to wish you all the best, pal. Your teacher, old Tom, has told me you've been fucking slacking off a wee bit in your photography. Is that right? We can't be having that, mate.
Having that, mate.
You better get your finger out, all right, and make sure that you get the fucking results. And if you get the results right and you stick in, I'll come and see you. All right? I'll take you for a bit of lunch or I'll come to your house or something, eh? We'll have a wee chat. Is that all right, mate?
Is that all right?
You make sure you stick in, eh? Come on, don't fuck the job up. Anyway, look, there's Goodison for you. What do you think of that? Hopefully you'll be back soon, lad, eh? All right, mate. Stick in, son. God bless you, big dunk. Take care.
So then this week, his brothers tweeted. So that was Jack. So it's obviously his brother Tom, who was pissing about, obviously in class, wasn't he? So then this week, Jack's tweeted, "Big Dunk sticking to his word after my brother got the results he needed in school and took him out for food. Made sure I got invited too, and not one of his mates." And then there's a picture of Jack, Tom, and Big Dunk, and he looks like he's got a shirt as well. So
yeah, but as Callie says, when he says, "I'll come and see you, I'll come to your house," like you watch that. I've seen that a number of times, but I'm still terrified.
Yeah,
watching it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
imagine opening your door and he's fucking stood there.
He should have been cast in, some film along with Vinnie Jones as a double act. Terrifying. And then, of course, you remember the Jimmy Bullard video where he's talking to Big Duncan, and then he goes to his teammate like, "Fuck."
That's the one, where it's Everton. He's playing for Wigan, isn't he? He's just like looking up at him with his eyes, thinking, that's a good one. Look, could he send Cook a video?
Well, but we've got to be calm. I give Cook a lot of respect for yesterday. For managing
definitely.
In a time that must be difficult to him, and my thoughts go out to him. It really does, and my thoughts go out to him at this time. Share screen. So you want to see what happened in Crunch? We got this. Look at that. Look, Big Duncan kept his word. Turned up.
There he is.
The old meal. Unbelievable.
Took him out for some food. Wonder where they went. What do you reckon Big Dunk has? What do you reckon his go-to meal is?
Oh, definitely like a spaghetti carbonara or something like that. You know what I mean?
I reckon he has steak and he has it with his hand. He just tears it apart. Just...
Yeah, like a fucking saber-toothed tiger.
Is he? Where's he now? Because he was Ancelotti's number 2, wasn't he? Is he still at Everton with Benitez?
Duncan Ferguson. Let's have a little Google.
Because he was number 2 there, wasn't he?
Assistant manager still, I think.
Oh, he still is. So do you reckon he's bad cop?
Oh yeah, he's just the cop. Do you know what I mean? But there is a news article. It says from Rondon, who reveals a message that Duncan Ferguson gave him when he joined the football club. But I can't quite get to it, so I'll have to do it on Monday's show. But Paul Hedger, I'm with him, mate. I want to turn it around. Shame about.
How many likes we at mine?
Oh, I don't know. Haven't looked. But I would love nothing more to be sitting here this time next week, having beaten Wet Spam and having beaten Lincoln, saying, all right, maybe I was wrong. And then further and further and further. I want this football club to do well, and I don't care who's in charge to do it. 62 likes so far.
So if you're watching and you haven't pressed the like button, please do so. And please vote for us for Best Podcast. Are you going to drop the link in the chat, Mike?
Yep, just done it. Yeah, absolutely. Also support us on Ko-Fi. Everything go back into the platform. So thank you very much. And yeah, I know I've made some opinions today that people don't agree with. And that's that. I mean, Crunch knows all about that. That's new territory for me because normally I'm the one asking the questions. But
yeah, that was a bit different, wasn't it?
You ask me a question, you always will get an honest answer. And you asked me it, and I had to answer it there and then. So it's because some people would give you a diplomatic answer and say, well, no. Do you know what? How do I feel right now? And that can change like the wind. But I'm a football fan. That does often change like the wind.
Oh yeah, but that's football fans in general.
Absolutely, yeah.
In a month's time, we might have won three out of 4, and we might be sitting just outside the playoffs.
But that's the thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's down to the people responsible to prove you wrong. You can have an opinion, and it's down to prove it wrong, prove me wrong. I don't want to be proved right, because that's the worst thing in the world as a football fan, when you're negative and you're proved right, because it means you've lost, and
we don't want to be moaning and negative, and we want to be happy and winning games, scoring goals, climbing the league, excitement. But we don't want, it is a case of how long do you leave it, Martin, because we don't want another wasted season, do we?
This is it. This is it.
Stuck in this league again.
And
I know there's no divine right to get out of it. I do get that, but we need to get out of it ASAP, don't we?
Absolutely. And I get what people are saying. It's 6 games into this new campaign, but I'm looking at it as a whole. And I think if they sacked him now, it wouldn't be after 6 games, would it? It'd be after 20x games. You've got to look at the body of work and ask, have you progressed as a football club with or without his players? And I think the answer is no. Now, people may disagree with that, and that's fine. And I hope we do see some progressive stuff, in the coming weeks and days. But he's been given a good budget. It's not like he's been given.
But like Saturday, we're going to Lincoln, and you have to pay them the respect. I get that, but should we really be worried about going there?
No.
But we are.
Yeah.
Because that's inside at the minute. That's how we're feeling, isn't it?
But that could work in reverse, though, couldn't it? Because you've played Cheltenham, you've played Morecambe, you've played AFC Wimbledon, you've played teams that you're expected to beat. Now you're not expecting them to win. The pressure's off a little bit from a fan's perspective. Even yesterday, I said on the Friday show, because even yesterday, a lot of fans were positive. 3-0, 2-0. And I said on the Friday show, every time I see a chat that's got score predictions so one-sided, we normally fall flat on our face. Northampton away, AFC Wimbledon. So I was like, a bit worried now. And it proved itself right, didn't it?
So Saturday, if in the chat with 3-0 defeat, 2-1 defeat, you're using that reverse psychology.
Kiwi Tractor Boy, like this one. Press the like button if you're a true blue and the thumbs down button if you're hung like a canary. Hovercat, Lincoln away, Town win 2-0. It's going to happen. The undertones. Monty 1-0 up front. Are you happy with that? There we go.
I'd like to see 2 up front.
We are back.
I'd like to see what they could do, Piggott and Bond, but I don't think we will.
You're not going to see it, right? We're back tomorrow evening. Matt Phillips, Graham Brook in the know. Graham Brook, Usher, and myself. I will be a lot less angry unless the Bears also tonight capitulate, and then I'll be probably twice as angry. So,
it's back. NFL's back.
Yeah, you see, it's tough being me because
I see Brady on. Was it Friday the first game?
Thursday night, but Friday. Slicing and Dyson. He's a great player. He's 44 years of age. He's doing things at 44 that I couldn't do at 24. Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon Ronaldo will still be playing at 44?
Don't matter to me. The way my club's seen, I'm not going to fucking see him in my life. The way my life's going, we'll probably play a Barrow side managed by Cristiano Ronaldo at some point. You know what I mean? Something stupid.
Come on.
One of those things. But anyway,
will not be in for Lincoln, Michael Finch. I don't think you'll be seeing him. I doubt you'll see him starting a game until into October, Martin.
Possibly. But anyway, we're back tomorrow night.
Don't expect too much of Selena, everyone. Don't think that he's suddenly going to come in. Because he can't play holding midfielder.
No, he certainly can't. No, but I think our problems go a lot deeper than our holding midfielder. The fullback. It's all over the shop. Anyway, back tomorrow night to discuss it more out of that 24-hour window. So a lot more thinking.
I thought we were quite calm. Yeah,
but shows like today, I've thought with this, not with this. Do you know what I mean? Like my heart has done my thinking for me today. Whereas tomorrow night I'll be a lot less
zen.
Yeah, I'll be more zen. Yeah, I'll be more zen. But we're back tomorrow with love, with care. Don't forget away day beers. $14.99 for the Legends pack.
Josh has got a couple of Ipswich beers coming, hasn't he?
Have you had the is it Fours Paola? The Paolo with the Canio.
Golden Ale.
Yeah, I had it last night. Absolutely beautiful drop.
Is this the one? Hang on. This one?
Yes. That's the one.
Yeah, I've not had it. It's 5%.
The dogs like it. It's a beautiful drop. Just gives you a slight hangover. Well, it does me anyway. So be careful if you're in that one. But Enjoy your away days. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I remember that goal. Remember that volley against Wimbledon in 2000.
I just had a chicken roast, you know. I was sat on the sofa, just had a chicken roast. One of the best goals I've ever seen. He could do things on a football pitch that you just didn't know were possible, including shoving referees.
Oh, yeah, come on. Let's not talk about that. Paul Alcock. That was embarrassing. How many stages did he go down?
He went down the same way I pay for my mortgage in installments. Right, we're back tomorrow. Don't forget to vote for us, subscribe to us, donate if you want to. But until tomorrow, with Matt and Graham, with love, with care,
eat the faith.
We're on a journey.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now. Let's move closer to a new history.